Hi, in this tutorial I will explain you how you can fix the drifting problem of Oculus One 2 touch controllers and what's the way of fixing it and what tools you would need to do it, and after that how to fully disassemble the Oculus Quest Controller so you can hardwarely mechanically fix the touch button. Basically, these are two controllers that we'll be working on. These are tools you'll need. You'll need a tweezers, you need T5 screwdriver, you'll need some tool to open the housing easily, maybe the spatula. These almost the same tools. I will show all the instruction on the controller that's already has a cracked housing because it will be easier to work with it. And but this is fully functional controller. In the end I will show you how to fix the drifting problem and also what you can apply to the controller so it will be fully working again without need of the replacing it fully. So to disassemble the controller, first thing, anything you would do with it, you need to remove the battery. The battery is inside, you press gently on the side, the battery will be removed. After that you can start the cleaning of the controller. You can use a different sort of the electrical circuit cleaning liquids, but before doing it, as I told you, always remove the battery because with the dust from the controller it can do some internal short, oxidation, so it's always better to remove the battery. You can apply the cleaning circuit on around the button, around also the side button. Also you can spray some in the joystick and on the button on the side. After you do the spraying on all these parts, basically you what need to do is multiple time pressing all the buttons, so in this way the liquid will go inside and it will clean up the contacts. This is a temporary fix, the problem will appear again, so maybe for some time you'll be fine, but the problems always come back. So in our case we'll need to fully disassemble the controller and to fix the joystick, exactly the drifting problem. So to disassemble the controller, what we'll do is under the battery is the label. We'll gently remove the label. Okay, as you can see there, under the label there are two screws. We'll use our T5 screwdriver. We'll remove the screws. We'll use the tweezers, okay, first, and the second one. Okay, 1 and 2. When the screws are removed, we use our spatula to remove the housing from the body, the housing that contains the button. We'll start it from the bottom where is the cable attachment. We'll make a small crack, so we'll extend it. You can see it's increasing. So only the thing is keeping it in place is the attachment here where the button is. So we gently keep the controller in one hand and we separate this housing from the controller. Okay, it was separated. You can see what's inside. We are putting it aside. To be able to reach the button, we need to remove all the screws from the controller. So to do this, we'll start unscrewing. First thing, we need to remove the surround housing. To do this, we need to unscrew these two screws there around the button. One, two. Okay, so now I will show you on the good controller. You'll see on the back, these are two controllers. On the back, this one is already splitted. Here you can see it's not splitted. To be able to remove the surrounding housing, you'll need to insert something on the top, as you can see here, and when you press, this thing will pop up, and they should go one on the top of another, like this. As you can see, it's really flexible. Don't overbend it or it can crack. When it go on top of another, the top housing can be easily separated, so you need to move it up and to you. So basically this will be the top housing. I'm hoping soon they will appear as a separate part, because they crack really often and they are not so hard to replace. We'll see, maybe they will appear, or maybe they will be 3D printed. But this housing is supposed to be semi-transparent because of all the IR infrared LEDs. They light through the housing, and you can even see on the lights your fingers. So yes, we'll see, maybe they will appear and we can fix the broken controller in this way. But when we separated the top housing, let's continue. We'll remove the screws from the battery section. Basically we are removing all the screws that we can see. There are 3 screws that are keeping the battery section in place. Okay, there are 2 more screws that are keeping the front panel in place. We are removing these 2 screws, and the front panel should pop out. Basically these 2 screws, 1, 2. Okay, and the front panel should go out. As you can see, I removed the front panel with the button, and the board is now exposed. So I will remove the second screws. It's stuck a little bit. Okay, so now all the back screws are removed. Let's start with the board. As you can see on the board, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 more screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 3 screws that keep in the joystick in place. Basically this is the joystick that we need to clean. Go out. Okay, so this is the board. We remove the screws. We can also in the same time detach the housing that keeps the battery in place. So as you can see, the housing was like this. We removed it, and we need to remove these legs. So the battery housing was removed. Okay, let's put it here. Okay, now we see the board. On the board there's also antenna cable. Use the scissor to remove the antenna cable from the place. Now gently put on the side the board, and you can see on the board there's one more connection from the bottom. It's for the side button. We need to press on it, and the board will exit. So okay, so now you can see the board with joystick, buttons, and basically what we would need to do is to remove the joystick, Now we'll disassemble it, clean the contacts, extend the spring and put it back. So our main drift issue is in this joystick. I wouldn't even remove the top part. I will show you how to disassemble it and to clean it inside. As you can see, this joystick is this attachment 1, 2, 3, 4 that's keeping it all together. So to be able to open it, we need to bend a little bit the joystick housing. Okay, one part is bended. I will do the same thing on another one. Okay, look. Now we bend these two parts. Also, we can do it from this side. And there's a small attachment from here. So basically the most important is to detach one side. You see? We're bending this one. Sorry, focusing. This. We use something to detach it a little bit from this side. And there is one more from this one. So we'll put something between the plastic. Okay, you see? Now you can see that it's opening. Gently open it because there's like a really thin part inside. Okay, you can see the spring, you can see the joystick. From this part, as you can see, we didn't even touch it because it will slide off it when we'll bend it a little bit. Okay, so 1 and 2. Okay, so we can see inside how the joystick looks like. Our main thing where the problem is these contacts get dirty a little bit. So this thing is really easy removable. So be aware that you can lose a small part. To be able to remove it, you gently can pop up this thing out. And you can clean up the contacts easily. So this would be the joystick. Let's put it here. Other part of the joystick that's also really important is the spring. Usually when you're playing a lot, the spring gets a little bit loose. So I prefer gently a little bit to extend the spring. It will create some pressure and these contacts that are sliding from the sides wouldn't touch the board no more by themselves. So basically this thing will help it and will resolve the drifting problem. So basically what we are doing is cleaning with something these contacts, maybe a little bit bend it inside. These are the contacts. After that we are extending a little bit the spring. We're checking this side. If we had a press issue, we can check this one. Here on this side, I would recommend to use the spray. Gently put some spray. Use a touch brush or maybe the ear cleaner and gently clean these sides. I will do now the cleaning and we'll come back in a second. Okay, I will use the white paper so you would see all the elements better. I will take the part that I need to clean. You can see it. I'm spraying a little bit of the cleaning liquid. Usually the electronic cleaner, what's the main thing for them is they dry really quickly and clean completely the part. So before you assemble this thing, it needs to be dry. So you can blow some air. If you have the compressed air, you can blow. Don't forget that this thing is really thin, it can fly away. So yes, basically you can look here, these parts the black one should be clean. The button should be also clean up. You can hear the pressing of the button. So when this thing is done, now we can say that the drifting problem was resolved, and we'll do the assemble back. Okay, let's continue. To do the back assembly, what we'll need to do is to put this metal thing back. We'll first start with our joystick. We'll put our ring. It goes there. After the ring there's a spring. Also don't forget about this thing. This is for the button. When you press on the joystick, it presses, and it's pressing the button that's under. So we put in this thing back, and we assemble back housing. First look at the side where wasn't attached. So this is this side, and we need to attach it here. So gently, don't press on the joystick because this thing will pop up. So we are keeping the white side in our hands, and we are putting it on the top, the metal part. We are bending. As you can see, it went in from this side. The spring is there. So now we need to put back this side. Because of we bend it a little bit, this segment, we'll do the same thing in opposite. We're bending it so it can enter. So, and we are pressing on it. Okay, look, it pumped, it jumped in. So basically this part is now all together. What we need to do is to gently press on these sides where we detach it. You can see one side, second one, and we are good to go. We'll put it back, we'll assemble the joystick, we'll test it, and you'll see that the drifting problem was fixed. I'll come back in a second. Okay, so then now joystick is clean. As you can see, it's you can see a little bit still crack remain from the sides, but it's basically fully functioning, everything good. So we'll put everything together. So what we'll do next? Okay, if you also have a problem with the buttons on the board, you can put a little bit spray and press the buttons, and of course dry it completely. So basically this is if you have issues also with the button, but not only with the drift. Let's put the joystick together. We'll put in the joystick, we're sliding the flex, and we're putting back the connection. Okay, so the joystick is, the flex is back. And now let's put everything back. To put everything back, what we need to do? We have the joystick attached to the board. This is the first thing. We have our housing with antenna, with the button, with the side button. Okay, and we have our battery section that we also need to do. Okay, so you can't right away put the board because you can see that there is a spring from the back button. So we need to remove the back button to be able to put the board back in. To do it, we slide out the pin, we remove the button with the spring. Okay, the button is removed. I'll put it here so you'll see it. Now next thing we do, it's we insert the board from the side so we can pop up the side button flex. As you can see, I'm trying to put the flex in. Okay, the flex went in. I am using my tweezers to secure it in place. I think you can see it now, and I'm closing the connection. Okay, so the flex is in place. I'm removing a little bit the antenna. I am putting back the board and I am checking all the so it can stand fine on its place. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's continue. We have our board in place. What we need to do now is to put the screws back. Okay, screwdriver. We don't put the top one because the top screw will need to keep in place the spring. The spring we'll put it later. So we'll start with the bottom one. We put the bottom screw in. When we place the screw, now we can attach the antenna cable because it will be easier attached. Now the board is not moving, so we can attach the antenna. Okay, antenna is in place, almost. Okay. Now everything is good. So with the joystick we need to secure it in place. We need to see which of the parts of the joystick goes on the top, which of them goes in the bottom. We are putting them together. The joystick can be also screwed in because it wouldn't influence in no way for the spring. So we are putting the joystick back in. Okay, as I told, we don't put the top screw because we'll need to attach the spring. Okay, the spring is attached from the back. As you can see, I don't know if you see it, it's enough to light. There is where the screw will go. We insert the spring and we leave the spring hanging like this. The spring is attached to the plastic inside and we screw in the top screw. So now the spring is secured in place, it's fully attached, so this part is done. After this we can even insert our back button. We put the back button, we attach it to the back and we are sliding it in place and we are putting the pin back inside the hole. And we are gently pushing it so it will be aligned with in both sides. Okay, so you can see the buttons in place, spring is there, first front screws are also there. The side cable is fully attached, we can see it from here, and we can put the battery box back. So the battery is inserted from this side. We need to see that the cable, the ribbon cable is good. So okay, so now we can even connect the battery cable to the board. Okay, the battery cable is connected, the battery box in place. We'll put the battery screws back. So let's start. Look gently when you put in the screws. For example, this was a good option. I can see that one of the cables, the red one, it's blocking the screen, so I need to gently put it back. In this way, when I'll put the screws, they wouldn't damage the cable. And this is important because if you'll screw your screw inside the cable, it will fully damage it. And after that you'll need to solder it. So when you put in the screws back, see that the cable is not on the way. Now you can see the holes really good, so we can put the screws. Watch out, there's a magnet inside for the housing, so your screws will go to the magnet. The hardest I think will be the bottom screw, because as I told, there is a small magnet that's keeping the box together, so the screw is always standing to attach to the magnet. So I use the scissor, I'll put the screw in place, and after that I'll use screwdriver to screw it in. Okay, here are 3 screws. There is one from the side also. Okay, so the battery box is in place. I checked one more time, the connection is okay, the Bluetooth is attached, the cable is on the side, joystick is clicking, working, moving, everything good. I am putting the front panel. Look, I'm keeping the front panel in this way, and I am inserting the joystick on the top so my buttons wouldn't fall. Okay, as you can see, I put the front panel in. Now I need to put the screws. These are the top 2 screws that I will need to insert. Okay, so I put the top 2 screws. After, I'm putting back the housing. To put back the original housing when it's not damaged, you need again to squeeze these 2 parts like this. You see, you're inserting the housing from the front to the back, and after that it's clicking. Wait, maybe no. Maybe, yeah, it's maybe even from the back top, like this, from the back to the front, and it will clip in. And you attach the housing with 2 screws. 1, and the second one. Okay, now it's the last part. You check in all the cables, nothing is sticking out, everything is good. You put in the side button. The side button you insert it from the top to the bottom. From the top, be aware it needs to go a little bit inside. It went in, and you gently press on it, and after that continue pressing from all the sides so it will pop up really good. Okay, the side is inserted. So we left with our last 2 screws that will go under the battery. Again, you detach a little bit the label. And you are putting your 2 screws. 1. and the second one. Now attach back the label, press on it, so it will gently be attached. You're checking all the buttons one more time, everything pressing good, joystick is clicking, side button is clicking. Use your battery, you insert the battery back, pop up the housing, press Oculus, you can see that the light is working, and that's all. Basically now we have our drift problem fully fixed, it shouldn't appear again, all the buttons functioning, the joystick is clean, and you can continue using it. One more thing, when you have this problem like me with the disconnection, what I can use is to use the transparent tape. I use the tape, sorry, you can use this type of the tape, you attach it like this, and you simply, oops, yeah, maybe I'll take another one later, but I will show you basically what to do. This is not to put it more together, but to save the LEDs, infrared light that's around it. So when you do it till the middle, and now you gently press and you put it back. So in this way, and you gently with your hand put it all around. So now you can see it's connected from here, no more crack, and the circuit and the flex now are secured, so basically they wouldn't be damaged by external factor because this thing is keeping everything together. Use the transparent tape because this thing are infrared and their light should go through it. And you can use a nicer one, I simply showed you as an example how to secure it. So this joystick is fully functioning, you can use it and continue enjoying your game. Okay, thanks for watching, have a good day, bye.